It is our responsibility to lead properly concerning money. It's our job. How we spend, they will spend. What we value, they will value. If they hear you say the words, I can't afford it, we can't afford it, it's too expensive, you are grooming your kids with the death language of poverty. Did you hear me? You're grooming them with the death language of poverty. So what do you say if you really can't afford it? No, you say, you know what? We choose not to. I agree, that's a great thing. But we are making a wise choice not to participate in it. We choose not to. Saying things like, we can't afford it, hinders your child concerning money. Also makes them resentful and bitter concerning money. It raised them up with improper ideals concerning finances. And it's also an excuse, which is a well-planned lie. I can't afford it is nothing but an excuse. It's nothing but a lie. So it's very important that you use good verbiage with your kids concerning money. So for example, our kids know that we probably can't afford some things. We live very simple lives. We do not go clothes shopping at the beginning of the school year. We go in and we take an inventory of what we have left of the hand-me-downs, what still fits and what's going to last. And if they need jeans in December, they'll get them in December. They're not just going to get 5 pairs of jeans just because school started and they need to look their greatest in front of all of their friends. We don't do that. I find out what everybody else does, and I do the exact opposite. Everybody else is clothes shopping in August. Sorry, I'm not. Not going to do it. I mean, once in a while, they'll need a new shirt. We'll go ahead and get it. By the count of what they can already use, and they all wear hand-me-downs, including Erica. They all wear hand-me-downs. Why? Because I'm not setting my kids up for poverty. I'm setting them up for wealth. I'm setting them up to be frugal and not hasty with their finances. Teaching them how to value money and hard work versus using it frivolously like it means absolutely nothing. There's no respect in that. So we can't afford it. Now my kids, they know we can afford some things. So for us to say we can't afford it, they know would be a lie. For you, it might be the truth. The truth is both of them are a lie. You need to teach them to make wise choices. So how many of your kids say, well, Johnny has one? How many of your kids, well, all the kids at school have this name brand of jeans, so I gotta have them. How many of you heard this? Yeah, we've all heard this, right? So in hearing such a thing, right, this is what you say. You say, you know what, that's great for them. And that's wonderful. And my son Kate being he wants to be the leader, right? I've trained each one of my children to be an individual and to be unique unto themselves and not to be sucked into the crowd. The Bible says to leave an inheritance for our children. Do you realize that? The Bible teaches us to leave an inheritance for our children. That's what it says. It teaches us to do that. But here's the problem. I recently was in an environment with a very, very successful multimillionaire who was talking about the fact that he had just wrote his will out and he was passing on all of his wealth onto his children. The only thing that cringed in my belly was, I certainly hope you trained them on how to handle that money. How many of you have heard of the trust fund kids? And how many of you have heard them spending it all? Winding up lazy and on drugs. Why? They were never groomed to handle wealth. They were never trained to handle properly manage money. If you are going to leave an inheritance behind without grooming them along the way on what to do with it, the difference between an asset and a liability, what happens with lazy hands, about the kingdom of self and filling themselves with more stuff. If you don't train them up, you're setting them up for failure. And your wealth will be squandered in a quarter of the time it took you to earn it. Okay? So leaving a legacy is not so much about the finances. Yes, you can leave finances behind, but the bigger part of the legacy is that they grow that wealth even more to pass it to the next generation. The only way it's going to grow even more is if you teach them the skills that they need in order to do it.